evening and welcome to Camnet TV main news today, the 24th of July in the year 2026. Let's now take a look at the news headlines. GARRY NKOMBO dismisses HH claims AJ supporters to remain peaceful. FRA raises maize buying price to 347 kwacha per 50 kg bag for 2026 marketing season. Police officer injured after speeding driver flees traffic checkpoint. In international news, bodies recovered after deadly attack in eastern Congo. In sports news, Copper Queens touched down in Morocco, 10 focus to WAFCON opener against Egypt. Join us for these and many more stories after the break.
In every celebration, there's a simple choice being made. To belong, count me in. Moments of love and promises for tomorrow, count me in. At the checkout line, in the middle of an ordinary day, a reminder that every number matters. Count me in. Across our communities, our streets, the same message finds us. Count me in. From the everyday worker to the hands shaping our future every day, the call is the same. Count me in. Around the traditions that bring us together, the message becomes impossible to ignore. Count me in.
This election season, your vote counts. Get your NRC and voters card ready.
Count me in.
Camnet TV main news now showing on Top Star Channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the CanStream app. With the main news in detail, I'm Tapelo Joe Smata. Independent Mazabuka aspiring Member of Parliament GARRY NKOMBO has dismissed claims allegedly made by President Hakainde Hichilema against him as baseless and called on his supporters to remain calm and peaceful. Speaking in response to the president's remarks, Mr. NKOMBO said the allegations lacked truth and were surprising coming from a leader of the president's stature. Mr. NKOMBO declined to respond to what he described as abusive remarks, saying most of the president's statements did not deserve a response because they were not factual. He also said he had endured political persecution in the past, claiming he was among those who had been most traumatized and beaten by the Patriotic Front PF cadres. Mr. NKOMBO said he would take time to reflect on the president's remarks rather than engage in a war of words. He appealed to his supporters not to react violently, urging them to respect the rule of law and uphold peace during the campaign period.
By law, under Article 51 of the Constitution of Zambia, people are allowed to run as an independent candidate. The candle sign which I'm using as my symbol, I heard the president say is similar to the lamp. Yeah, so that claim is false. It's baseless to come from a man of his standing. And the rest of the things he said, Helga, I prefer to not to even respond because there was a less of abusiveness. Safe to say that none of the things that he said can stand as a truth. And maybe to also indicate that I must be a real funny character, you know, because if there's anyone who was really traumatized and beaten up by the PF for his sake, I was one of them. Probably the only one. And for now, I think I choose to digest the things that he said.
The Healing Word Ministries Senior Pastor and Chief Executive Officer of Camnet Television, Pastor Victoria Chiluba, has launched a national interdenomination prayer marathon aimed at seeking God's intervention for Zambia ahead of the 2026 general elections. The prayer marathon, which begins on Monday, July 27, 2026, and runs until Wednesday, August 12, 2026, will see churches across the country dedicate time to pray for peace, unity, and credible elections. Speaking during the launch on Friday, Pastor Victoria Chiluba called on Bible-believing churches to unite beyond denominational differences and open their doors for national. The initiative is not about political affiliations, personalities, or individual interests, but about placing Zambia before God as the country prepares for a crucial electoral period. She urged churches to make their sanctuaries houses of prayer throughout the period, saying the church has a responsibility to stand in the gap for the nation. Pastor Victoria Chiluba said the prayer marathon seeks God's guidance for national leaders and protection for citizens, security officers, election officers, and communities across the country. She further prayed for the restraint of violence, hatred, and division, calling on Zambians to embrace love and unity before, during, and after the elections. The daily prayer sessions will run from 9 hours to 18 hours until the conclusion of the program on August 12th. Pastor Victoria Chiluba said the initiative is aimed at ensuring that Zambia remains peaceful and united, with the church rising together in prayer at a defining moment in the nation's history.
Like David declared in 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 29, is there not a cause? Indeed, there is a cause. And the cause is our nation, Zambia. The cause is peace. The cause is unity in Zambia. The cause is righteousness. The cause is our children and the generations that we inherit this our beautiful land after us. Therefore, from Monday 27th of July 2026, from 9 hours to 18 hours daily until Wednesday 12th of August 2026 at 18 hours, I earnestly appeal to every Bible-believing church across our communities and throughout Zambia to please open your doors, open your altars, open your hearts, and let us pray, and let every one of us, let our sanctuaries become a house of prayer for the nation. This is not about denominations, people of God. This is not about personalities. But this is not about political preferences at all. This is about seeking the face of the Almighty God, that Zambia may experience peaceful, credible, and orderly elections, and that our nation, Zambia, may remain united before, during, and after the elections. Let us stand together in love, for love overcomes hatred. Let us stand together in unity, for a house divided against itself cannot stand. Let us also stand together in prayer, for the fervent prayer of the righteous avails much. May every prayer offered during this prayer marathon become a shield over our nation. May God grant wisdom to our leaders. May he restrain every spirit of violence, every spirit of hatred and division. May he protect every citizen, every security officer, every election official, and every community. May peace prevail in every province, every district, and every town and village in Zambia. Let history, people of God, record that when Zambia needed God, The church arose as one. Is there not a cause? Yes, there is a cause. Let us arise, let us pray, let us believe, and may God heal our land. May the Lord richly bless all of us, and may God forever bless our great republic of Zambia.
The Food Reserve Agency, FRA, has set the maize buying price for the 2026-2027 crop marketing season at 6 kwacha 94 ngwe per kilogram, equivalent to 347 kwacha per 50 kg kilogram bag, as it prepares to purchase at least 500,000 metric tons of maize from farmers nationwide. FRA Board Chairperson Suresh Desai announced the prices during a media briefing in Lusaka today, saying the agency will also buy paddy rice at 7 kwacha 0.50 ngwe per kilogram, translating to 300 kwacha per 40 kilogram bag. The agency said the prices were determined after consultations with farmer organizations, grain traders, consumer groups, financial institutions, and other stakeholders. Mr. Desai said the FRA will open 1,749 buying depots across the country on July 29, 2026, following improvements in grain moisture levels. He added that the agency has recruited 3,498 satellite depot clerks and distributed marketing materials to ensure a smooth crop purchasing exercise. The agency said it expects to buy at least 500,000 metric tons of maize and 10,000 metric tons of paddy rice, with room to increase purchases depending on market conditions and available storage capacity. Mr. Desai urged farmers to register active bank accounts or mobile money wallets because all payments will be made electronically. He also advised farmers to retain enough grain for household consumption, clean their produce before delivery, and ensure their identification details match their banking information to avoid payment delays.
The increase in total agricultural production from 3.6 million metric tons of maize in 2025 to the all-time national record of 5.1 million metric tons in 2026. Number two, the carryover stock of more than 1.4 million metric tons of maize. This is also a historic record. And the carryover stocks of more than this is 1.4 million metric tons of maize. The completion of payments to farmers who supplied maize and paddy rice to the Food Reserve Agency during the 2025 crop marketing season. I think, ladies and gentlemen, you might remember in the past sometimes these payments used to spill over into the following year, keeping farmers waiting. But at least in the previous season ended, all payments were completed within the same year. And we have worked to see that this process is further speeded up. Some of it I will be outlining in my speech today. The completion of payment to farmers who supplied maize and paddy rice to the Food Reserve Agency in 2025, this is what I was just talking about. And these notable achievements are a testament of the new government's policies and programs.
A Zambia police traffic officer was injured after a suspected speeding driver allegedly ignored instructions to stop, struck the officer and fled the scene along the Great North Road in Lusaka. According to Police Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chilabi, the incident occurred around 14:50 hours on Thursday near the Zanimuone area, while Sergeant Warren Mulela, age 37, of Ngwerere Police Station, was conducting speed enforcement using a speed camera. Mr. Chilabi said the officer signaled the driver of a Toyota light truck, registration number CAG 2822, to stop after the vehicle was detected exceeding the speed limit. Instead, the driver allegedly hit the officer before abandoning the vehicle and escaping. Mr. Chilabi said Sergeant Mulela sustained injuries and was rushed to Chipata Level 1 Hospital, where he received treatment before being discharged. Mr. Chilabi said police have impounded the abandoned vehicle and launched investigations to identify and apprehend the suspect, who remains at large. The Zambia Police Service condemned reckless driving and warned motorists that failing to stop when directed by a police officer is a serious offense that endangers lives, obstructs law enforcement, and undermines road safety.
The Zambia Police Service wishes to inform the public that Ngwerere Police Station recorded a road traffic accident in which a police officer who was on duty was injured. The accident occurred on July 23, 2026, around 14:50 hours along the Great North Road near Zanimuone area. The victim is Sergeant Warren Mulela, age 37, a traffic police officer. Preliminary investigations indicate that while conducting road traffic speed enforcement duties using a speed camera, Sergeant Mulela signaled the driver of a Toyota light truck, registration number CAG 2822, to stop after the vehicle was detected being driven above the prescribed speed limit. The driver failed to stop, hit the officer, and later abandoned the motor vehicle before fleeing the scene. As a result of the impact, Sergeant Mulela sustained injuries and was rushed to Chipata Level 1 Hospital, where he received medical treatment and was later discharged. The driver of the vehicle has not yet been identified and remains at large. Police have since impounded the vehicle to facilitate further investigations aimed at tracing and apprehending the suspect. The Zambia Police Service strongly condemns reckless driving and the failure by some motorists to obey lawful instructions from police officers. Motorists are reminded that failure to stop when directed by a police officer is a serious offense that endangers lives, obstructs law enforcement operations, and undermines road safety.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has extended the stay of election stakeholders overseeing ballot paper printing, scheduling their departure to July 31st to allow them to witness the dispatch of the final batch of ballot papers. ECZ Commission Ambassador Ndiyo Imutiti announced the decision during an update on the ballot paper printing process, saying the move reinforces the Commission's commitment to transparency and stakeholder participation throughout the electoral process. Ambassador Mutiti said stakeholders, including representatives of political parties, civil society organizations, the church, security agencies, and the media, will remain until the final packaging and dispatch of ballot papers are completed. She said the Commission has maintained absolute transparency during the printing exercise and assured the nation that the same level of openness will continue during the final packaging and dispatch stages. The Commissioner thanked stakeholders for their continued partnership, noting that they have rigorously monitored, observed, and verified the ballot paper printing process from the start of the program. Ambassador Mutiti further announced that the stakeholders' departure, which had initially been scheduled for July 28, has now been moved to July 31st, 2026 to enable them to observe the dispatch of the last batch of ballot papers. She reaffirmed that the ECZ remains fully committed to ensuring transparency, inclusivity, and stakeholder engagement at every stage of preparations for the 2026 general election. Moving on in the news, the Zambia Public Procurement Authority, ZPPA, has suspended 5 contractors from participating in public procurement for 2 years after finding that they failed to meet their contractual obligations on water projects under the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation. The suspensions, which took effect on July 14, 2026, affect Capricorn Innovations Limited, Campe Investments Limited, DDYPE Drilling and Construction Limited, NKOMBO Investments Limited, and Totten Infrastructure Limited. ZPPA said the companies underperformed or abandoned contracts despite receiving millions of kwacha in advance payments for borehole drilling, rehabilitation, and water supply projects across several provinces. Capricorn Innovations Limited was suspended over 4 contracts involving the seating, drilling, and installation of 110 hand pumps and the upgrading of 46 existing boreholes in 2 piped water schemes in northern and western provinces. The authorities said the company failed to execute its contractual obligations after receiving an advance payment of 8.2 million kwacha. Campe Investments Limited completed only 11 of the 120 borehole projects required under its contract despite receiving 2.7 million kwacha in advance payments. DDYPE Drilling and Construction Limited also received 2-year suspension after ZPPA found it had underperformed on 6 contracts covering borehole seating, drilling, and installation of works in southern, eastern, northwestern, Copperbelt, and Muchinga provinces. The company had received an advance payment of 9.4 million kwacha. ZPPA has directed the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation to recover all advance payments made to the affected contractors. Assistant Public Relations Officer Lucy Lumbe said the sanctions are intended to enforce accountability and ensure that the public procurement delivers value for money and quality public services.
The suspended contractors are Capricorn Innovations Limited, Campe Investments Limited, DDYP Drilling and Construction Limited, NKOMBO Investments Limited, and Totten Infrastructure Limited. The suspension of Capricorn Innovations Limited is in relation to 4 contracts which included borehole siting, drilling and installation of 110 hand pumps and the upgrading of 46 existing boreholes to pipe water schemes in northern and western provinces. ZPPA established that Capricorn Innovations Limited failed to execute its contractual obligations despite receiving an advance payment of 8,220,804 kwacha 71 ngwe. Campe Investments Limited has been suspended after completing only 11 borehole projects out of 120 projects stipulated in its contract. Campe Investments Limited received an advance payment of 2,784,000 kwacha. Meanwhile, DDYP Drilling and Construction Limited has been suspended for underperformance in 6 contracts involving the siting, drilling, and installation of boreholes in southern, eastern, northwestern, Copperbelt, and Muchinga provinces, among other projects. This is despite receiving an advance payment of 9,040,331 kwacha 17 ngwe. The suspension of NKOMBO Investments Limited was due to its failure to fully execute its contractual obligations in a contract for the rehabilitation and maintenance of 95 boreholes in Western Province. NKOMBO Investments Limited was paid an advance payment of 1,255,009 kwacha 45 ngwe. Furthermore, Totten Infrastructure Limited has been suspended for non-performance, abandonment of works, and failure to rectify contractual breaches, despite repeated notifications from the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation.
We now go to Western Province, where a community aquaculture project in Senanga district has harvested more than 3 metric tons of fish, marking a major milestone for a 10.8 million kwacha Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission CEEC funded initiative aimed at creating jobs and boosting household incomes. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Lemi Kamfwamfwa, officiated at the fish harvest and described the project as a demonstration of the new Dawn government's commitment to empowering communities through sustainable economic ventures. Kamfwamfwa said the project reflects President Hakainde Hichilema's agenda of improving people's livelihoods by creating practical business opportunities and employment, particularly in rural areas. He said the successful harvest shows the potential of aquaculture to contribute to food security, economic growth, and poverty reduction in Zambia. CEEC representative Ophelia Nyambe said the investment has established a modern aquaculture facility comprising a hatchery, floating fish cages, and a cold chain system equipped with a refrigerated truck. Ms. Nyambe said the infrastructure is expected to increase fish production, improve access to markets, and create employment opportunities, especially for women and young people in Senanga district. Speaking on behalf of the beneficiary cooperatives, Akamandisa Skwibele of Kuchakufeli Cooperative thanked the government and CEC for the support. Our reporter in Western Province, Kabila Musiebo, filed in this report.
To improve the livelihood of people in Senanga district, Southern Economic Empowerment Commission has empowered regional cooperative in Senanga district in Western Province. The 10.8 million project has yielded positive in aquaculture expansion project, resulting in the cooperative to yield more than 300 metric tons of fish. Speaking during the fish harvest in Senanga district, Acting Permanent Secretary Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Lemi Kamfwamfwa, says the production will reduce on importing fish and job creation.
We officially commissioned these fish cages has today matured into a living, breathing testimony of government's commitment to food security, job creation, and broad-based citizen economic empowerment. This harvest is expected to yield over 300 metric tons of fish per production sake. It's not a small feat. It represents a direct and meaningful contribution towards closing Zambia's protein gap and reducing our reliance on imported fish. You have shown the nation that when government invests and communities own the process, results follow.
Others who spoke are Western Province Permanent Secretary Momo Akapera, Edwin Kikeba, Acting Director, Livestock and Fisheries, and Ophelia Nyambe, CEC representative.
We are gathered to celebrate the successful outcome of a project that demonstrates government's commitment to citizen economic empowerment. The project has transformed the vision launched in November 2025 into a fully operational aquaculture enterprise that is now delivering tangible benefits to local communities.
Aquaculture is the source of food security, employment creation, and poverty reduction. We therefore sincerely thank CEC for supporting the Senanga Aquaculture Expansion Program.
Senanga Aquaculture Expansion Project is testament to CEEC's pursuit of the countrywide value chain development approach. This is fish that will close Zambia's protein gap, reduce our reliance on imported fish, and strengthen food and nutrition security for communities in Western Province and beyond.
Meanwhile, some beneficiaries spoken to appreciated the gesture, stating that it will improve their livelihood and income generation and aid others to form cooperatives.
Chwale kialu bone kodi mwenti wakona kuchimbula kabwinobo kanako yakutalitapi chwalu mema boba mwabasika ichumbela matukwatu tuchwanato
kambelwa alexalita talka kala alexalita nipeto bwino wa mutepeto wa nanua na alexalita biza lepeto wafumana kachelenga kuisa bana kwalikolo mweni wana watu safasi baka.
Kelvin Kabiramsebo, Camnet News in Senanga District, Western Province.
And that particular story takes us to our first set of commercials. But do join us for more news when we come back. Stay tuned.
Voting is one of the few moments where we all have a voice. One person, one vote.
No titles, no status.
Just a choice.
It's not about doing nothing.
It's about showing up.
Because your vote matters.
It's easy.
It's important.
It's ours. Count me in.
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 Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms, Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palabana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Welcome back and thank you so much for still joining us on the Camnet News Desk. And now in international news. After yet another violent attack in eastern Congo's Ituri province, relatives gathered at a local health center Thursday to retrieve bodies of their loved ones. Local residents said the Allied Democratic Forces, an Islamic State allied extremist group known by its acronym ADF, attacked the Kikundo mining site near the border between North Kivu and Ituri provinces on Wednesday. The violence in Ituri and North Kivu provinces has raged for decades, coming into the spotlight again last year when Rwanda-backed M23 rebels took over the eastern capital of Goma. Several armed groups operate in the Mino-Rich region. But recently, the violence has hindered the response to the ongoing Ebola outbreak, leaving many areas inaccessible to response teams and keeping residents cut off from health clinics. A nurse at a local health center said he saw 8 bodies arrive from the scene of the attack. In nearby Mununzi, where other victims were brought from the mining site, local resident Obed Kasereka counted bodies lined up on a tap. He said there have been a series of small-scale deadly attacks in the region in recent weeks. Here's a roundup of international stories courtesy of Africa News.
Residents of eastern Congo's Ituri province are bearing the brunt of armed conflict. On Thursday, relatives gathered at a local health center to retrieve bodies of their loved ones. They said the Allied Democratic Forces, an Islamic State allied extremist group known by its acronym ADF, attacked the Kikundo mining site near the border between North Kivu and Ituri province on Wednesday. What's surprising is that we've never had the FARC fire in the fight against these attackers. They may be fewer in number, but the FARC aren't engaging them. The violence in Ituri and North Kivu provinces has raged for decades, coming into the spotlight again last year when Rwandan-backed M23 rebels took over the eastern capital of Goma. Several armed groups operate in the mineral-rich region. Local residents say there have been a series of small-scale deadly attacks in the region in recent weeks. It was in Biango that the ADF carried out these killings. Among the victims were artisanal miners searching for gold. Others were inside mining pits, while some were operating machines used for gold extraction. The violence has also hindered the response to the ongoing Ebola outbreak, leaving many areas inaccessible to response teams and keeping residents cut off from health clinics.
Tunisia's jailed opposition leader Rached Ghannouchi is in critical condition, his lawyers said on Thursday, after the 85-year-old fainted and suffered severe exhaustion. The Ennahda party leader was arrested in 2023 on multiple charges, including accusations of plotting against the state. He was sentenced to a total of more than 40 years in prison in separate cases. His defense team has accused authorities of violating his rights by refusing all visits from his lawyers and family. The Islamist-inspired Ennahda played a key role in Tunisian politics for years before Ghannouchi was detained. Tunisia emerged as the Arab world's only democracy after the ouster of longtime leader Zine El Abidine Ben Ali in 2011. But since President Kais Saied came to power in 2019, the country has seen a regression of rights and freedoms.
A high court in South Africa has granted President Cyril Ramaphosa an interdict temporarily halting a parliamentary impeachment inquiry against him. Ramaphosa sought to stay the public inquiry pending a legal review of an independent panel report finding that he may have violated the constitution in the so-called Farmgate scandal. The case involves the 2020 theft of $580,000 in undeclared foreign currency hidden in a sofa on his Pala Pala game farm. Details of the robbery only emerged 2 years later. Ramaphosa has denied any wrongdoing, saying the cash was the proceeds of the sale of buffalo and has ruled out resigning over the incident. In May, the Constitutional Court cleared the path for impeachment proceedings to begin, but Ramaphosa launched a review challenging the legality of the report, which will be heard in September. His advocate argued that subjecting the president to an impeachment inquiry on the back of a flawed report would humiliate him.
And finally, in sports news this evening, Zambia's Copper Queens have arrived in Rabat, Morocco, ahead of the 2026 Total Energies CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations, WAFCON, shifting their focus to Tuesday's opening Group C clash against Egypt. The team landed safely at Rabat International Airport on Friday night after departing Algiers Haouri Boumediene International Airport aboard a chartered flight shared with the Algerian women's national team. The arrival marks the end of Zambia's pre-tournament preparations in Algeria, where the Copper Queens held a training camp and played 2 international friendlies. Head coach Nora Hopley's side has been drawn in a challenging Group C alongside defending champions Nigeria, Egypt and regional rivals Malawi. Zambia will open its campaign against Egypt on July 28 before taking on Nigeria on August 1 and Malawi on August 5. The Copper Queens head into the tournament carrying high expectations after finishing third at the previous WAFCON and will be aiming to go a step further in Morocco. The 2026 edition has expanded to 16 teams for the first time and also serves as Africa's qualifying tournament for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup, with the 4 semi-finalists earning automatic qualification. Government and the Football Association of Zambia, FAZ, have backed the team to challenge for continental honors, with players also hoping to honor the legacy of former Copper Queens coach Bruce Mwape, who died earlier this month. And that sporting item brings us to the end of this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But before we go, a recap of stories that made headlines. GARRY NKOMBO dismisses HH's claims urges supporters to remain peaceful. FRA raises maize buying price to 347 kwacha per 50 kg bag for 2026 marketing season. Police officer injured after speeding driver flees traffic checkpoint. In international news, bodies recovered after deadly attack in eastern Congo. In sports, Copper Queens touched down in Morocco, 10 focus to WAFCON opener against Egypt. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. It reads, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him." That ends the Bible reading, and that concludes this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But dear viewer, like always, be reminded that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Kenstream app. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Good evening and God bless.